you two please do roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Lozano,
He's here.
Commissioner Martin,
Here.
Commissioner Meyerhoffen,
Present.
Vice Chair Meyer,
Here.
and Chair Eastman.
And he called me. He said he cannot make it because he does not have the equipment to do the Zoom right now. But he is obtaining it, so. Okay. So we have a quorum. All right. Ted, I'm going to let you do the Pledge of Allegiance because you've got the best backdrop. So if you don't mind, if we'll all stand up and Ted will lead us in the pledge, please.
My memory sometimes I forget. Okay.
Wow.
Please start with me. I pledge allegiance
It's to the flag of the United States of
States of
America
America.
and to the
The
republic,
republic for which it stands,
one nation,
nation,
under
under God, indivisible,
with liberty and
and
justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ted.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the approval of the agenda, please. I hope you had time to look at it. The agenda is really short, but there's a lot of material from that, there's a lot of supporting material from all of the chair or all the different staff members. So, but if anyone can look at that and give us a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, I make that first motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
There's a second. And for every vote that we take tonight, everyone, Kelsey has to do a roll call vote. So she'll have to call each of our names and vote individually, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Kelsey.
All right. Commissioner Lozano,
Yes. Yay.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Meyerhoffen,
Yes.
and Vice Chair Meyer.
Yes.
All right. Motion passed.
Okay, good deal. All right, and then please take a couple seconds, look at the minutes, see if there's any issues. Now, remember, this is all the way back in, our last meeting was February.
Wow.
So you may want to take a little bit of time just to look at it and make sure we're good.
Wow, that old? Jeez.
Yeah. You've been busy, Donna.
I've been busy.
You've been busy. So once you all get a minute to review those, if someone wants to make a motion, then we'll need a second.
Looks good to me. I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second it.
Motion from Donna. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Yeah, Ted did. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Kelsey, you can go ahead and do the roll call vote, please.
Okay. Commissioner Lozano,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Meyerhoffen,
Yes.
Vice Chair Meyer.
Yes.
Okay. Motion passed unanimously.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're now at the portion of public comments, and at this time, pursuant to state law, any person may comment on an item which is not on the agenda. Please state your name for the record. Comments are limited to the first 10 speakers at 3 minutes per speaker. All comments are to be directed to the Public Safety Commission and shall be devoid of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional, courteous decorum during public comments. So do we have any, Kelsey?
No.
No?
And then just to note, Councilmember Russell Betts is on, but he's indicated that he is just watching.
Oh, okay. But he didn't have any comments or anything that he needed to make, did he?
As far as I know, no. If that is different, Russ, just raise your hand and I can patch you in.
Okay.
Oh, looks like he does.
Okay.
There he is.
Sorry, just since you mentioned my name, I'll say hello, and it's good to see everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good to see everybody here participating. This is very accessible for the public, so anyhow, and you're all doing a good job. And Ted, I got to compliment you on that backdrop. As the chairman said, it looks really nice. So, well, everybody looks good, but anyhow, all right. Sorry, I just heard my name mentioned. So, what are you gonna do? All right, thanks.
Thanks, Wes. Okay, so if we don't have any public comments, then we'll just go ahead and move right into the administrative reports. And when we get done there are just a few, like some housekeeping items we need to do, a couple little things we need to talk about, for setting up future meetings and stuff like that. So I don't believe we have the public safety cadet liaison, because she's probably not going to school either, huh? So I don't think we have anything for item number 1, so we'll skip over that. Item number 2 is the animal control monthly report. Chief, do we have the animal control? She's busy.
Yeah, I'll take care of that for you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, so rather than go over each month, I'll go over the total amount January through June. So far this year, we've had 443 intakes. 192 dogs or cats were returned to owner. 116 were sent to rescue. 38 animals were sent to foster. And then to the Humane Society, 55. Taken to the vet, 111. Picked up that were found on the street were 72. Passed away 1, and that was from January. Euthanized 10. License issued 248. Administrative citations 105. Warning citations, I'm sorry, that was 105. Licenses were 248. Calls for service 1,272. And SNP bus, I believe that's the neutering, is 60. Also, animal control, while COVID was going on, we found that people were actually when they were staying home, they were taking care of their animals. So at any given time, we had maybe 1 or 2 animals. Since things have opened back up, unfortunately, we're back up. I believe as of yesterday, we had 8 dogs and 7 cats. And the kennels were actually repaired. They were wearing down the gates. So we actually replaced those with stainless steel gates. So that's up and running. And that's all I have with animal control.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions of Chief Henson in reference to animal control or comments about it?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Ted. Thank you.
Chief, it was really nice to have a compliment for animal control.
Uh-huh.
I think it was on a weekend. As a matter of fact, there was a deceased cat on the road on Farm Drive, and I called up, and it was nice that somebody answered the phone, and one other person had called too, and they were on their way out. So it was really nice to have that service there and to have them there and be polite and courtesy and be on the job. It was really a good experience to call in and have that taken care of.
Yeah, they're actually running one short too. They have one that's going through backgrounds to add. So they're actually running a man short, and yet they're still able to handle all their calls for service, and they're open 7 days a week.
That's great.
It's tough right now. This heat is so bad.
Lawrence, did you have anything?
No.
No? Okay. I just wanted to say, and when I was looking at the numbers, Chief, I think you sent 2 dogs to the Coachella Valley Animal Campus in 4 months. That's, if I'm reading that correct, I think it looks like 2, and both were for quarantine for a bite. So that's just outstanding work by the staff. I mean, obviously things are down because of COVID, but 2 dogs in 4 months going to the county, that's incredible. So my other question is I know you guys just finished up with budget process and stuff, and that's one of the things I want to talk about later is getting a presentation. But how did animal control do? Were they taken care of, or?
Yeah, since they've been opened over there, they've always come either at budget or just under the budget.
Mm-hmm.
So their budget's pretty much right on.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll get deeper into that during the years as we look at those budgets. So, okay. Anything else? Go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to say that my packet that Kelsey just sent only has up to May. Was it Was there an added thing to it for the June report?
For the June report, we received it late, so I was going to include it in next month's packet.
Oh, okay, no problem. I just thought I wasn't seeing something. Okay, thank you. Do I hit my picture when I want to talk?
There's a little, yeah, there's just down there by your name, there should be a thing that if you put your, the little arrow on your picture, it'll say mute up in the upper
Right.
corner there if you just want to mute yourself. So,
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, when I'm talking, do you see me?
yeah, we see you and we hear you. So you're
I
perfect.
just wondered, just
Yep.
trying to learn this. Okay.
You are on it. Okay. So nothing else for animal control. Let's move on to the fire department monthly report, and I don't see the chief. So, so I don't see him. So I don't think there's anything to present for him to present. Obviously, you can all look at the stats yourself. I did notice that as usual, the medical aid calls are like just the huge portion of the calls for service.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're running like over 300 medical aid calls a month. So,
I'd like to say something.
please, go ahead, Don.
Okay. If he's listening, I want to say that in May, whenever this happened to me, they showed up at my door, I swear, 3 minutes later. My daughter called 911 and they were just right there, and I just want to commend them. And when he said, "You're going to the hospital," as soon as he said that, the ambulance pulled up. So the whole, I mean, I was just astounded and really didn't know what the heck was happening to me, but they were right there, and I thank everyone for that. Doing
Yeah.
a great job.
I have to echo that, Donna, because we had our meeting on February 13th, and then the next day, of course, was Valentine's Day. And my wife made an awesome king crab dinner for us, and then immediately went into anaphylactic shock.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was very scary. I mean, she completely locked up, and thank God the fire guys got there pretty quick, and the ambulance people, and they got her to the hospital, and she turned out okay. But yeah, very scary, but
Yeah.
excellent service as usual. So
It was amazing. Yeah. I mean,
I got to agree with you. Thank you very much to the fire folks. They did an
and I hope I never have to use you again.
But, that's one of the things I kind of like to see if, if we can keep working on is maybe seeing if we can find a way to get an increased medical response, portion to their service there, and
Yeah.
so we'll,
Amazing.
maybe that'll be one of the things we kind of look at over the next few months. So, okay, let's
Okay,
move on.
thank you. All right.
Anybody else for fire? No, we're good. Okay, let's move on to the police department monthly report with the chief.
All right. Before I go over the stats, there's a couple things I want to go over. The COVID testing side, and I don't know, Commissioner Lozano, did you hear the story about the COVID testing site?
Well, I was going to have a comment because I was so moved by what you read, the text about Henry, and I wanted to. Who was that? Can I get a copy of that? Who was it? That said, and who is the security guard that talks to Henry every day?
They're actually the people that are working the testing site. I believe there's 3 or 4 of them. They've been there since the start. So it's the individuals that are actually there every day. The security guard's the same person that's there. And so they've built up a relationship with your son's picture. And like they said, they even had a birthday party for him. So I just want to make sure
I was just taken aback. Actually, Scott texted me and says, "Go to 11 minutes on the meeting," and you were reading it, and I was, my whole family, we're just always so touched when someone, remembers him at any time. And I'm pleased to know that the testing is over there. Is it going well? I'm afraid to go there.
So it's actually, there's 14 testing sites that are walk up. Our site is the 4th busiest. As of yesterday, they've tested 4,119 people.
Wow.
And let me just throw that out there. So if anybody wants to get tested, the website is https://lhi.care/COVID testing, or you could also call 888-634-1123. It's actually a good time to get tested. Unfortunately, this afternoon we found out that we've set a record 2 days in a row now. Today, there actually was 1,377 additional cases.
In Desert Hot Springs?
No, in Riverside County.
Oh, okay.
But that's the highest since this has started. So we're still kind of under the gun there. The other thing I wanted to talk about before I get into the monthly stats is fireworks. So obviously we got beat up at the police department about fireworks this year. This year, they believe it was because of COVID. There was no other explanation, but fireworks were a problem nationwide. If you watch, there were some stories that were going on anywhere from New York all the way here to California. They had 3 times as many fireworks. Here, we actually had almost 5 times as many firework calls. In 2019, between the date of June 1st to July 5th, we responded to 127 fireworks calls. This year, we responded to 563 fireworks calls.
Oh,
This year, it was just totally outrageous throughout the country. Last year, we cited 9 individuals. This year, we cited 36 individuals. So there was 36 individuals that got cited for fireworks, and they were basically throughout the city. The last couple of days, we still have some fireworks going on. The task force worked from the 15th of June through July 5th. So that's where they came up with the 36 sites. The task force was officers as well as code enforcement officers. Now getting into the stats, I'll go over the patrol statistics first. So comparing them to last year's, the first 6 months, we have 1,887 more calls for service. Officer initiated. The officers actually have been out to 3,613 more calls for service. So it shows you everybody's basically out on patrol, and that's why you're seeing the officer initiated higher. Traffic stops, we've made 513 more traffic stops this year than last year. Business checks, we've made 2,744 more business checks. Vehicle checks, 476 more vehicle checks. And pedestrian contacts, 114 more. So you can see having the extra officers out there has increased all those stats, which has lowered the crime. Accidents, we've had 42 less accidents in the first 6 months from last year. Arrests were up 96. Criminal officer reports were up 2, and non-criminal officer reports were up 285. Arrests, drug arrests have gone up 39. Felony arrests have gone up 22. Misdemeanor arrests have gone up 65. Warrant arrests kind of stayed the same. Misdemeanor citations went up by 62. Moving citations went up by 82. And Muni Code violations went up by 188. Homicides for the year, we've had 1, and it has been solved. Last year we had a manslaughter. This year we have not. The rape statistic went up by 2. Attempts went down by 1. Robberies, firearms, they're up by 6. Knife, they're down by 1. And strong arms, they're down by 7. Assaults with a firearm, they're down 5. Other dangerous weapons, they're down 6. Simple assaults are down 6. And burglaries, we're going to have a tough time next year trying to keep up with this year. Everybody was home, so we're seeing 100 less burglaries. But that, like I said, that stat is kind of misleading because everybody is home. You're definitely going to have less burglaries. So we've had 100 less burglaries. Motor vehicle thefts, we've had 43 more. We had a run on trucks this year for some reason. If you compare the stats, vehicle stealing, or I'm sorry, stolen vehicles, if you go back to 2017, they're kind of mirroring 2017 stats. 2018, they were lower. And like I said, this year, unfortunately, vehicle thefts are up. And there were 21 more stolen trucks. So there was an interest in trucks. We're not sure why, but we have the task force in town trying to work on that. And that's all I have. I'm here to answer any questions you have.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for the chief?
I did, but I forgot.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's get Florence. We'll let Florence ask her question, and by that time you'll remember.
Oh, I don't have a question. I just want to make a comment.
Please.
There was no way that the police department could effectively enforce the fireworks regulation because every fifth house in our neighborhood had professional grade skyrockets. So I want to compliment them for their great effort to address the issue.
Yeah.
I want to thank you. We actually have something else planned for next year, but I'll keep that to myself. There's another way we're going to attack fireworks next year. So.
Oh, I remembered. We're still hearing huge things go off. It almost sounds like an explosion. And we're up here by Mission Lakes, you know, on the other side, and they're huge. And we never hear anything. We actually used to just look at the fireworks from our hill, you know. Are you getting more still at night? I mean, last night it was huge. It actually shook my house a little bit.
Yeah, the fireworks are still continuing. Obviously not as much as before the 4th of July. We do have some loud explosions. It actually started a couple of years ago, and trying to track them down, we haven't been able to track them down.
I know.
But yeah, trust me, here sitting in the office the last couple of days, they've been going off during the day too.
Mm.
So yeah, we need to stop that. Thank goodness there was no injuries this year that were attributed to fireworks. There were some small brush fires, no structure fires. So
Oh, great.
the 5th of July.
Well, that's all I have.
All right, Ted, go ahead, please.
Yes. Chief, three things, I believe. First one is, the question is, why are so many people being pulled over in the OK Mart parking lot? And I explained that when they're coming down the street, traffic lights, that's probably where they're pulling over to get out of traffic. But they were thinking that might be something different. So I'll let you explain what that answer to that question is. And I have another.
Okay, we actually have the motor officer out there, so he was doing traffic enforcement in the area. Also, with the new business in there, there's some issues with driveways and right-of-ways that we're trying to address. So it's a little bit of a combination of both, but that's also the motor being out there. We also have Sergeant Hazen, who was the other motor officer, and he's going to be going out and working. So you'll actually see 2 motors out there. So there's going to be more people pulled over. And that's kind of a problem area that we need to address. So it's being addressed now.
Okay, thank you. And
I have one more question.
Hang on, Donna. Ted had a couple more questions.
Okay, sorry.
thank
That's
you.
good. Go ahead, Ted.
The next question is there's the traffic backing up at McDonald's and Starbucks. The McDonald's one's going to be difficult to get that straightened out, but with the fireworks containers gone, maybe they could be directed in another way to help the employees. The same thing at Starbucks. That would be a lot easier because the parking lot's not being used as much right now. And the direct line going in there with a spot where people could pull through. I know that there's rules and regulations and that and insurance and that. But I'll let you go ahead and address that if you could for us.
Yeah, unfortunately, due to COVID and restaurants being closed, the drive-throughs have been busier than usual. I know the Starbucks issue is a problem for that parking lot, and they're trying to address that with signage. That's what's being worked on now. As far as McDonald's, there's no way around that. I mean, they're trying to address it. Unfortunately, depending on what time you go there, everybody's using the drive-throughs because that's the only thing that's basically open. It's the easiest way to get through. So until restaurants start opening up again, we're going to have an issue with drive-throughs.
Okay, thank you. And then the other question, you know, everybody's wondering, where's all the money going to from not only the tickets, but the citations for the fireworks?
That I couldn't tell you. It goes into the general fund, I believe. The city will process that through the general fund.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I can add to that for you, Chief. If you really look at like traffic citations, everyone thinks that the city, if the city writes a ticket and there's a $150 fine for that ticket, we usually only get maybe 10% of that. Okay, because by the time the courts get done taking their share, the state takes a share. There's like 3 or 4 different entities that take a share of that money. Because I used to get it all the time as a chief of police. People would say, well, if you write more tickets, you'll make more money. And that's not true. And that, of course, that's not the reason why you write tickets either. So you write tickets to help people change behavior. But the reality of the state gets the vast majority, the state and the courts take the vast majority of that money before the city ever sees it. I think it's down to below 10%. If you know, I don't know if you know, Jim, but I think it's
No,
down to
I think
10%.
you're on the right track.
Yeah.
On the right track.
Yeah. So it's amazing who gets the money before the city does. Trust me. Everyone's got their finger in that pie before the city even sees that money. So okay, Donna, you had a question or comment?
Well, I have a comment and a question, I guess, whatever. For the chief, being out of commission the last few months, they were breaking ground at the Public Safety Academy, and did that happen? I don't know what's going on with that part. Are they building?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I've been tied up with COVID and some stuff. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. All right. I could email. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
that's it. I'm just.
Yeah, and for me, Chief, I just wanted to commend you and your people for staying proactive in a time where most people have gone completely reactive. So, I mean, I've seen little or no change in our manner of life here in Desert Hot Springs, and at least not for the negative. So, and that's a good thing where other communities are seeing real issues, real problems, and life here in Desert Hot Springs keeps going the way it normally does, which is pretty nice. So I just wanted to say thank you to you and your people. I know it's a hard time, and I do appreciate their professionalism and their efforts. So, because I don't know what I'd be doing, you know, if I were
No.
right now.
I agree with you. The credit goes to the patrol officers and the detectives out there. I know we take a beating on social media that crimes run rapid, but all you have to do is look at the website and you can compare the numbers.
Yeah.
Crime is not up. We take a beating, and unfortunately the officers and the detectives, we had a shooting yesterday, and within 12 hours, they not only identified the 2 shooters, they brought them into custody.
Yeah.
So this shooting happened about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and by 5 in the morning, they had both people in custody. So I couldn't be prouder of our patrol officers and our detectives. They're kind of the unsung heroes, and I encourage you to look at the website. You can see the numbers as well as the press releases to see what actually is going on.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of people look at things through the eyes of emotion, and they fail to look at the true numbers and what the truth of the matter is. So I like I said, I look at your numbers, I see what the numbers say, and you can see that you guys are still staying proactive, and that's the way you protect people is by staying proactive. So congratulations. I know it's really difficult to do that in this time right now, this last few weeks, but you've done an outstanding job. So thank you very much with that. Okay. Anybody else have anything for the chief? No?
I can't eat cake, so I don't have anything for him.
It's donuts, Donna, okay? We eat donuts, right? So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to commissioners' reports. Who wants to start off?
I will.
Okay, go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, I just want to say, I was going to commend the police department as well, Chief. I think, again, and the fire department, you know, I'm just pleased as punch to be here. And everything is working well. The streets are looking great, and there's not a question you can't answer, Chief, and I love it. So keep it up. Thank you.
Okay. Ted, anything for the good?
Yes.
Please.
You know, as far as people thinking crime's high now, they should have been here 30 years ago or 20 years ago. And it's really changed. And even the 4th of July, we used to be able to smell some gunpowder in the air. So at least the bullets aren't coming down as much as they are. You know what? There's very few bullets and very few gunshots. We still hear them, but it's a lot better now. So those who are complaining, it's gotten better. If you don't believe so, just talk to some of the old residents. And any city you go to is going to have crime. So I think that the police department's done a wonderful job. It's come a long way, and they're continuing to do a great job. The new officers are coming in, and I think it's really good. And I don't like to see some of those comments that I see about the police either. The next thing is Commissioner Martin, I owe you an apology. I congratulated you on being the vice chair. And 4 months there, I thought you really were, because I really didn't hear what was going on. And nobody was using the microphones during that process. And Martin and Meyer sounds a lot alike to somebody who has a hearing disability.
It does.
So I didn't mean to upset you at the council meeting there. I apologize if I did. It was an honest mistake. I actually thought I was voting for you. I apologize for the mix-up.
No problem. Thank you.
And to be honest, Ted, you probably were voting for a better person there.
Aw.
I don't know about that. Like to always see somebody new get a chance to do something, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, Florence, did you have anything?
Yeah, I just want to say that the cities across the valley have experienced significant fiscal stress, while we have also experienced budget concerns. We are in much better shape than some of our neighbors. Good work by the city leadership and staff for leading us through the crisis. Good work.
It is. Okay. I've got several comments real quick. A few months ago, I said great job by the city staff on the street on Palm Drive, and I mean I just saw black asphalt down there. I didn't realize how bad it was, and of course Chair Eastman reminded me, no, that's not a good job. And I tell you what, you can always learn something new. When they came out and redid the street, Palm Drive, you could see the big difference in it. So I learned a little bit about how putting the street looks, and so thank you to Chair Eastman for educating me on that. But now the street, Palm Drive, looks really great. The new signals going in at Palm and Desert View, I think that's going to be a huge help. It's going to slow everybody down through there and give people more access to getting across the street. The markings look terrific. So I think they've really done a great job there. Speaking of Chair Eastman, he asked me to bring it up to all of you, reference our schedule for next month for August. I talked to Gerald before the meeting. City Council is dark for the remainder of this month and all month of August. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on whether we should go dark for August and plan to come back in September, hopefully all together in person, even if we have to wear masks, right? But together in person in a beautiful room somewhere and do this that way. So any thoughts on going dark through August and returning on that second Thursday in September?
I'm good with that.
Donna's good with it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
Lawrence, okay. Ted, how do you feel about it? Good?
No.
No.
No. We've already had, this is the 7th month here, and we've already been dark for 6 months. We haven't had any meetings. And this has to be an agendized item. We have to put it on there to discuss it. We haven't, it's not an agenda item. It should have been put on.
Okay. All right, that brings up a good point. So, all right, then I guess we'll have a meeting in August then, okay? So Kelsey, can you schedule that for us?
I hope it will be in the Carl May Center, so Chairman Neesmith can join us, and there's enough room in there we can all sit apart, and I think we'll be okay.
Okay. And let's see, what else did I have? Talk about that. And then a couple of the things that when we do get back to meeting in person, I'd kind of like to see us get is maybe we can get someone from city finance to come in and give us a presentation on the budgets for fire and police and animal control. So,
Yeah, going back to the live in person, I don't, we're going to have to check with the city, but they're not encouraging that. And in fact, the station, I'm not even taking appointments here at the station. So we'll have to look at that.
yeah, that's one of those things that just will, you know, once they kind of lift this COVID thing and we can start interacting again, then I understand why they approved the budget without talking to any of the commissions. I get it. They're on a time thing and they had to get it done, but it is something that we should sit down and take a look at the numbers, because that's what our primary focus is according to what we were told. So when we get that back up and running, I'd like to have that be an agendized item. And then the other thing will be is getting that homeless report done, which I think will be fascinating to hear after what's been going on with COVID. So I don't know if that's impacted it positively or negatively at all, but I'll be interested to hear that. So those are a couple things I'm looking at down the line, you know, and then also maybe talking about, you know, how we can help the fire department. And I mean, we just heap praise on the police department, but the fire department's been doing a great job during this last few months too. But it's been pretty difficult. So we're really blessed, but that'll be another thing is maybe start looking at costing out, you know, what it would be to fund some additional help for the fire department. So, okay. All right. That's all I had. Did anybody have anything else? No?
No.
Good. Donna, Florence,
We're
we're good?
good. I'm good.
All right. Well, it's good to see all of you again. And I'm glad, Donna, you're healthy. Okay.
Thank
Everything
you.
worked out
Thank
good
you.
there. So I look
Thank you
forward
so
to
much.
I look forward to meeting you all again in person when we get back together. Hopefully, that'll happen in August. So, but we'll go ahead and schedule a meeting for August then. Okay, Kelsey? Okay. And with that, we will adjourn the meeting at 6:40 p.m. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thank
be
you.
safe.
It's
Bye-bye.
good to be back.